in black.
Yep.
Wow.
Because everything around us is black. Because it's dark.
I actually messed up my audio for the start of that, but it's fine.
Right.
We are
Was it
back.
my fault?
Huzzah!
No, it was the fact that my key press didn't register because I wasn't tabbed into OBS.
Oh.
Rip.
But that's fine.
That
So,
way we missed my whole back in black spiel.
no,
Yep.
just missed what I said, but that's fine. So, with that, yes, the combat subsides, you are basically free to do whatever. Elran seems to have somebody by the scruff of the neck, a very scrawny looking Shadakai. And he seems to be sort of intently asking questions.
I suppose I might as well go see what he's asking.
Cool. Yeah. You go back. Yeah, you sort of you come back sort of halfway through. Elran is sort of like shaking this guy, and he is just like, "Tell me now."
Nice.
And yeah, the Shadakai is like sort of like he is like panicking, sniveling, and he's basically like, I don't know, nobody said this, I don't know what you mean. And as Illiran sees you approach, he sort of shoves the kid sort of like away from him, but is still sort of holding him, and he's just like, he looks behind you guys to like the corpse of the wyvern and is just sort of like, I see you certainly knew what you were doing with that.
I suppose you could say that.
I did admit when I must admit I did wonder what was going to happen when that thing flew overhead. It did look quite fearsome, but you guys certainly seem to have it handled.
We're professional dragon slayers.
He raises an eyebrow in an expression that can only be described as, "Oh, really?"
Oh.
No. But, well, at least we don't have to worry about that thing swooping down on us anymore.
He nods and sort of says, "I'm trying to get this one to tell them who's going around laying ambushes for us."
Oh, he wasn't
Yeah.
there for our conversation with guy.
They were there, but they weren't privy to the conversation. No, not really.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess then I'll just say they're almost certainly acting of their own accord.
Yeah,
What
it
was his
seems
name who
bad.
owned the Sorry, go Luka.
It seems bandits roam these parts, so. That's all I was gonna say.
So the person who sent him is almost certainly a corpse over there. And I'll gesture to the bandit captain.
Elran sort of like nods, brings the kid sort of like level with his face, makes him look him dead in the face, and he says, "In my forest, we'd take a hand for that."
Wow. In your forest.
Well, this is not his forest. The forest you are now in is not his forest.
True.
That's true.
But yeah, the kid. I'm not even going to roll to save against intimidation because he's just like, and yeah, then Elran sort of like just throws him like away from him and just sort of like lets him go. And unless anybody does anything, the kid will just like scramble off and run away.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be pretty bad to just like shoot him in the back.
Yeah.
Yes, it would.
I mean, very famously in your backstory, you did threaten to do that to somebody, but
Did I?
admittedly you didn't do it. Yes, in the story I wrote about when you first met V.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I'll give you to the count of 3, and then you're just like, actually, I'm not going to shoot you.
Actually, it's fine.
But yeah, the kid runs off. Everybody seems alright. The only person who seems to be even slightly injured is Lysatus, who sort of shrugs it off. Oh, I mean, out of the others.
I was like, I got pretty fucked up by that dragon.
Yeah, you did. Lysatus has got like a couple of scratches, which she just sort of like runs her hands over with a brief moment's magic and gets rid of them.
Yeah, that's a thing. Thinking of which, let's try this again, shall we?
Gonna try to
look,
heal him.
it's terrible again, Arya.
Oh.
That's a literal 1, by the way.
Maybe you should try some actual medicine.
Yeah, don't make a medicine check then.
Not to heal wounds. No, you don't have the correct tools to heal wounds.
Good point.
Can I just like lay a hand on her shoulder and give her some hit points?
You can, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be better than all this rolling. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was like.
Well, I was
maybe
thinking
it's
along the
like
lines of drinking potions, because I'm pretty sure you guys have like a
Oh,
billion potions.
We don't have enough.
emergencies.
Wow.
Yeah, those are for emergencies.
Emergencies.
Yeah.
Where I can't reach people, or Kelariis.
Yeah.
How
I rolled a 3, a 2, and a 1 on these wounds so far.
Sorry, what, Kelariis?
how many hit points down? Just so I don't like
30.
30.
So I'm on 29 right now.
Okay, I'll give you 20. Will that put
That's
you
fine.
decently? Okay, cool.
Thank you.
What's your max?
53.
The fuck?
Yeah, we have
Arya's actually really hard to kill.
Surprisingly, even though I go down.
Good thing you're really hard to kill, given how, like... Well... I won't say it again.
Again, not her fault. So,
I'm not referring to just this instant.
after you apply healing, recoup, gather yourselves, do you search the bodies, or are you just sort of going to move on?
I'll look at what the... Can I look at what the captain had on him?
What the captain had on him, the captain had roughly 3.5 gold in coins, which, interestingly enough, you notice are almost all human minted. So these are presumably spoils of some other assault on travellers. Who were possibly humans. What happened to those? You have no idea. The other thing he has on him is he has a scimitar. Nothing remarkable about that. Yeah, the only other thing on him is a small brass like case that when you flick it open seems to like basically be like a compass, but it's not a compass. It looks like a compass to look at, but you're not sure what it does. I guess actually you could make me an intelligence check, I guess. From the way it's sort of like suspended in a thin film of liquid. You guess it might be used for like measuring angles or something. Though quite what the purpose of it is, you don't really know.
Okay.
It's not a tool you're familiar with.
How invested are we in random tool?
Can I have a look at it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Can I make an intelligence check?
Yeah, you can make an intelligence check.
Woo!
Okay. With some fiddling, you quickly realise there is a series of catches around the outside that allow you to dislocate like the rings and stuff around it and move it around. to a point where you can find a perfect level on almost any surface.
Huh.
It is quite literally a spirit level.
Does anyone want this?
If any of you are proficient in carpentry, you might be able to use it. I guess Vondal could probably use it, to a degree.
Otherwise, we will just keep it, because it's fancy and she likes collecting.
Yeah. Also, it's fun to watch the liquid go bloop 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 when you move it around.
Yep. Cool.
Cool. You find a spirit level.
Hooray.
So what about the wyvern?
That is actually a very good point, because actually Simone has a great deal of interest in it.
Oh shit.
And I don't know if it's in Simone's inventory, but I believe... Oh, she doesn't have proficiency in it. But she would almost certainly, given her previous occupation, be carrying one. So Simone produces a small set of tools from her backpack and bends over the body of this wyvern and begins prodding and poking at the ends of the tail.
Oh, is she trying to extract the venom?
Give me a nature check.
That venom.
Get that venom. I'm sure it's very, very rare. Wow.
And potent.
Fucking
You
have no idea.
you have no experience in extracting toxins from dragons, but you suspect that maybe Simone is trying to like get some of the poison out of it somehow.
Quick, use your words.
I guess I ask her if that's what she's doing.
Yeah, that is pretty much what she's doing. I need to actually check if it's a special poison in the list, because I believe it is. Yes. Yeah. Basically what... Oh shit, I fucked that up. What Simone tells you is that wyvern venom is a very, very powerful injury poison. As you no doubt have experienced. And yeah, essentially she begins to try to harvest from it, but yeah, she can deal basically a huge amount of poison damage if she coats her weapon with this.
Poison Tideros.
Yeah. You actually remember previously in one of the other fights that you've seen her fight in, you do remember that she did carry vials of poison to coat her weapon with. But yeah, she basically explains to you that wyvern poison, by its very nature, is very rare and very difficult to come by. And when she's... I guess I'll make a test for her to see how well she manages to... Okay, yeah, no, she passes that for sure. Yeah, when she's done, she has maybe a couple of millimeters of this stuff. And she holds it up to the light and says, "Guess how much you think that is worth?"
I don't know. Maybe 50 gold?
She smiles, shakes her head,
100.
shakes her head again.
Oh my god. 200?
Try 1,000.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
200 bloody gold.
Yeah. She sort of like, she holds it up to the light and... Give me an insight check.
All of us? Or...
Oh, shit.
Okay, just Arya.
Fine.
Okay,
Doesn't even fucking matter. I aced that.
as she holds it up, there is, like, she smiles, and there's almost like a brief, vindictive, very malicious sort of like happiness to the way she looks at this.
God, I love
To the point where it's really like you are sort of like, okay, that's I have never seen you like this before. That's really creepy. Where she holds it up and she says, "I've always wanted some of this, and I've got someone very special in mind to receive it."
Jesus.
Before pocketing the vial.
I fucking love Simone, guys.
Yeah, same. Anytime Simone or the Satos do anything, I'm just like, can we do the Wild Hunt campaign now? Oh god. Fucking hell, that's amazing.
But yes, Simone now has a vial of wyvern venom. Very potent.
Huzzah.
So, presumably you move on.
Presumably.
Unless anyone has anything else they want to do.
Nope.
Okay then. You continue onwards for a little while. Until you come to a very overgrown section of the forest. And unlike most of the forest you've passed through on the way here, this forest actually seems to be alive in a very sick and twisted fashion.
Oh, lovely. Oh.
And as you travel, you come across a very worn, very overgrown, winding set of stairs that seems to go on and on, up and up over this range of hills and small mountains. And it's very difficult to see beyond a certain distance, as just the thickness of the forest and sort of just a general lingering mist seems to hang over this place. And I would like all of you to make me, I guess, a perception check. Okay. Wow.
Oh, V.
Oh.
V is just generally like a little bit upset by the state of everything in this forest, because everything is just sort of like sick and twisted, but it still seems to be thriving in some really sort of horrific kind of way. It's like seeing It's like witnessing somebody going about their daily business, but they've got like a horrible, debilitating, wasting disease. Except it's nature all around you. However, Vondal, you are immediately aware, like after thwarting one ambush, you are very much on your toes. And you notice that there are a number of basically like wild beasts, or at the very least sets of eyes that seem to be observing you from the forest canopy. And that leaves you feeling rather unnerved.
Okay, I suppose I'll be pointing that out to everybody.
Okay. You do so. I think at that point, I'd like everybody to make me a despair check.
What?
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 Hey guys, huddle up for that +2.
Yeah.
Everybody hug Kelariis.
Wow.
Charisma, was it?
Charisma, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I'm being distracted. People are fucking
Ah.
wishing me happy birthday. Oh
Uh-huh.
god, why are we so bad?
Okay.
Okay, I actually rolled charisma, not my save, but it's not much better.
No, it isn't much better now.
It would be an
Only
8.
plus, yeah.
Okay, so everybody except Kelariis fails, as do Simone and Lysatus.
I'm back on
Why
2.
are we the worst?
So yeah, keep track of like where you are. If anybody's on 2, I need to know. Well, if anyone's on a
That's
multiple
me.
of 2, I need to know.
I'm on 2.
I'm on 5.
I think I'm on 4 now.
Oh,
I'm
you've
on
you've ticked onto 5 again.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
okay.
God.
That's gonna be fun. Right.
I hate my life.
Okay. So. Okay. Right. And. Okay, so basically what happens as you are all making these checks is essentially there is a long and piercing female scream, which is like it goes on for like maybe half a second before it is very, very, very abruptly silenced. The effects that this has on your companions, Simone grips and draws her weapon and just sort of like stands there like frozen for a few moments. Lysatus seems to like be like momentarily taken aback, but then sort of like steps to one side and like puts a hand on Simone's shoulder and is like sort of like whispers to her to sort of like stow the weapon. Don't worry about it. As for the rest of you, who failed and needs a result?
Hello.
Me.
1, 2.
Everyone except
so
Ferrous.
2 short-term and 1 long-term.
Mhm.
Okay. So Vondal, you are incapacitated and spend the next 3 minutes either screaming, laughing, or weeping, your choice.
Oh,
3 minutes.
Am I still able to cast a spell?
Pardon?
Am I still able to cast a spell?
No, because you're incapacitated.
Ah, lovely.
Oh, okay, that's a 62. Okay, we'll come back to that.
What does that mean?
No, that sounds awful.
okay.
That sounds
That
terribly
sounds
awful.
very bad.
As for Arya... okay. Okay, that's interesting.
Rob is too.
I'm gonna need to roll for this. Alright.
Rob sounds too happy.
know.
I'm a little bit happy. This is a fun one.
Oh,
Oh, fuck.
Means it's fun for him, not us.
Yeah. Nothing is ever fun for us, but it's
No,
fun for
we're
us.
only here to suffer.
Yep.
Okay.
We're pawns in his game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
No,
19,
just leave me. I'll just
20,
go and say
21,
that.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Oops, I meant to do slash roll. Okay. Oh, okay. That's easy. So,
How badly am I fucked up?
no, it wasn't that many hours. It was...
Oh, good. Many hours.
Huzzah.
make of that what you will. As for V,
That is so concerning.
basically V, for the next 5 minutes, you are convinced that you can see like the figure of a woman being like just attacked like everywhere that you sort of like look. It's like it's constantly in the corner of your vision, and you're just constantly like jumping at these shadows. For the next the next 5 minutes, you have disadvantage on all ability checks.
Okay.
Oh man. Mine's pretty funny.
Yep. It may have an effect. I have no idea. If it does have an effect, I have no idea what effect it's going to take. Okay. So, Vondal, what are you doing? Screaming, laughing, or crying for a few minutes?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Probably crying, honestly.
Okay, that was not the result I expected you to choose.
No, I don't know what to choose in this situation.
Okay.
Because constant any of those is not really his thing.
So, Vondal just like begins to cry for seemingly no reason. Actually, technically, that needs. I need because people have succumbed to despair. Kelariis, I need you to make another test.
Oh,
So we
boy.
all need to make a test, or is that just...
No, because it doesn't chain off of other people's failures. Because otherwise, you'd go infinitely.
Yeah. We've already failed. We can't make another one.
Because technically, whilst you are succumbing to despair, you also cannot gain any more despair.
Right.
Good.
Well, that's one test.
Cool. Everybody else passes. So yeah.
Vondal is the only one like visibly doing something right now? Question mark.
Yeah, Vondal is like fairly obviously crying. Like V just sort of like seems like super twitchy all of a sudden. Like she's like looking around, like trying to focus on things but you can't see anything. Simone's just got a weapon like drawn, but like Ilaran is sort of like standing next to her, like talking to her, and the Satyrs has a hand on her shoulder.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not doing anything.
That's concerning. The way that that was said is
Well,
very concerning.
okay, so she's not doing nothing. She's just not acting out of the ordinary.
Okay, that's
Oh.
fair.
She's still capable of doing stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, actually, Arya, you can act as you want.
I think I'm gonna address the aggressively crying Vondal first, because
Okay.
that is mildly more concerning at this very second.
Yes.
Whereas being paranoid is concerning, but not
Perfectly
as
Yeah.
normal in this area. Let's be honest.
Yeah, Arya, you could actually make me an insight check with advantage to try and fathom what V is like looking for. Cool.
nice.
Yeah, like she seems to just be like jumping at shadows and looking for something that isn't there. Like it's almost like she sees something that you don't.
Okay.
Which, knowing her, would not be uncommon.
Probably not actually that weird.
Wow.
Yeah, probably I'm just like, whatever.
Because let's be honest, who wouldn't be paranoid of shadows in this fucking place?
Honestly, no.
V is just so paranoid she has disadvantage on checks.
But only for like a couple minutes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not concerned.
I'm
No
not.
offense.
So, yeah,
You asshole.
Clarice, what do you want to do with Vondal?
Oh boy. I don't know if she even knows how to really approach this, but she's like, I should do something. I'll probably walk over and kind of like place a hand on his shoulder and say, well, no, she wouldn't say anything. She would just kind of like put an arm over his shoulders and just kind of, well, really awkwardly give him a hug, because like a half hug.
Frog.
Crying.
You're
Like,
just like
no
leaning
matter
down
what.
to him, just like sort of squeezing him into your legs.
Something like that. I mean, look, I'll crouch down, kneel down, something to
Yeah.
make up for the height difference, because that's less awkward.
On his
Just like, here, smashed you into my legs. Have a
Hug
hug.
my beefy thighs.
Drown in the thighs.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
There are worse ways to go.
Seconded.
Like,
Ow.
get out, Luka.
No.
Just leave.
So yeah, Vondal, you are awkwardly embraced as you proceed to cry.
Yeah.
I is just completely unworried about the.
I mean, it's a weird ass place, okay?
I've also just realised something. The effect that you're under. If any negative consequences come for that, they're completely negated by 2 items that you're actually carrying.
Oh, that's true. I am.
That's
Who cares?
that's
It's not gonna
interesting.
affect me at all. Awesome. I mean, I'm
Sounds like
fine
you're
with
having
it.
a great time.
It was pretty. When I tell you what it is, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll find out in a couple of in-game hours.
I really am having a great time.
So I'm guessing like you guys take a few minutes to sort of like compose yourselves
Presumably, yes.
before you continue onwards.
God, I prepped calm emotions and everything.
Yep. And then you were the ones to come. So.
Yep.
When Vondal stops crying, I'll probably be like, you alright? That's a horrible question, but...
Yeah. Are you alright in this weird hellhole?
In the
alright, you
literal
just-
dimension of death.
You've spent 3 minutes crying, are you alright?
Uh,
No.
he probably just takes a really deep breath and just goes, yeah.
Well, if you say so then. Pat him on the shoulder.
Spoken like a true bro.
I mean, look, she's not gonna, like, super press it right now. It's a weird place. Everything's gone weird.
True.
So V, are you sort of doing anything about these hallucinations, or are you just sort of like trying to dismiss them in your head? Because you can see that they're not real, but they are just like they're so real that they just keep drawing your attention away from whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Right, so it's not like she's actually thinking.
Yeah, it's sort of thing like if you've ever seen like a pile of clothes in a mirror out of the corner of your eye, and it looks like a fucking person, and then you turn around and it's like, oh, it's a fucking pile of clothes. Why am I so scared? It's that, but just constant.
Right, okay, I guess she wouldn't really do anything about it. Or like, I don't know, maybe she would like at some point like sort of get up and just sort of like try to fix it, like something that she thought was a woman, she's like gonna like change it so that it doesn't look like a woman to her.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, that seems like a logical thing to do. Yeah, like Arya,
She
you sort
won't,
of
like think that's a person again.
yeah, like there's like a small pile of like stones by one of the stairs that V just sort of like V seems to fixate on for a second. She seems to shake herself, gets up, and just like there's like one big stone that's on top of the other pile of stones, and she just like pushes that off, and then sort of like dusts her hands down. And it's like, ah, that's better.
It's all fine and normal here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if nobody else does anything, I guess you guys move on.
Yep.
Cool. I guess make me extended nature checks, and V, you'll make the first roll with disadvantage, I guess.
Okay, now let's like do them all.
Wait, extended nature?
Okay.
Extended
I'm
nature,
going
yes.
first.
Okay, you're going first.
Go alphabetical order.
Wow.
Like
That's a
14,
solid
14, 14.
barrage of 14.
Yeah, that's a solid 14.
Mhm.
So I guess then Kelariis.
Okay.
Yeah, then you.
Well,
19, 17, 3.
Aha,
Double
so you would
23.
get advantage.
Yeah.
1, 3, 16.
I know
Yeah.
about nature.
not the first time you didn't, but
Okay.
Before I live in a fucking, I'm from a mountain.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm from a mountain and I've lived in loads of towns. I know a lot about nature.
Wow. The Satis with a natural 20.
Hey.
She knows about nature.
She should do. She's a bloody druid.
Exactly.
I should hope so, yeah.
So
Just like I should know about religion.
you guys continue to scale this stairwell, or stair, not stairwell because it's not enclosed. This stair up the side of the hillside, the small mountain, until the path behind you that you took to get here is long disappeared into the mist and trees. And you realise that as you're going, the stair that you're taking, and every so often to your right or to your left, are very, very old, very, very tumbled down ruins, to the point where they're no longer buildings anymore. They're like massively overgrown piles of rocks that you wouldn't distinguish from a regular boulder, other than a few of them are like cut into shape. And this looks like the overgrown ruins of some ancient civilization. Though whatever signs of it sort of continuing onwards are sort of long gone. And nature in its own twisted way has sort of reclaimed this place. And as you travel, you continue to notice that sort of these you're still being sort of watched by all of these creatures. There's like a number of sort of like clusters of birds seem to like gather in a tree and watch you, and then like maybe an hour or so down the line you'll see a similar cluster of birds on a different part of the trail. But eventually you sort of it starts to become very, very dark in this overgrown forest. And you decide now would probably be the best time to set up camp. As you do so, I would like everybody to roll. Let me find out what it is very quickly.
Also, when we're setting up camp, I'm totally casting daylight.
Before you do that, give me just a moment, because this will apply before you actually get the camp set up.
Okay.
Can everybody make me wisdom saves? And if you're an elf, you can. If you have Fey ancestry, you can make it with advantage.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Oh,
Doesn't even
no.
fucking matter. This is how it goes.
Wow, all of your NPC party members are basically elves, so they are perfectly fine.
Except me.
Okay. V, can you make me one as well?
She's moving her laptop.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know when she's.
Okay, we'll give it just a second. Everybody who is not Vondal, you hear a voice come from a tree off the side of the path. And like it almost sounds like the voice of like what you'd expect like an old man's voice. And it sort of seems to there's like a creaking and a groaning, and like you sort of turn towards the source of this sound. You swear you hear from this tree a faint like old man voice that just says, Could it be forest kin once again?
Fuck.
Sketchy.
Oh, actually, Vondal, you hear this. You hear this voice as well, but you will, if you move to go and see it, you'll see something slightly different.
I guess I'll like look over.
I presume you're like all sort of looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah. Okay, so V, you'll see the same as Vondal. As for the others, you
What is
see.
that?
Well,
Explain it.
you heard a strange voice that said, like, it sounded like an old man's voice who said, "Could it be forest kin once more?" And as you look up, you see Kelariis and Arya. You see a tree that seems to have like a very gentle-looking old man's face, and it seems to sort of like be peering at you in the gloom as if it is struggling to see you. Give me nature checks. Arya, you can probably have advantage because these things would be native to the Feywild. Okay, so you both recognize this. Kelariis probably from childhood books. Arya from actually probably meeting some. You recognize this as I believe it's a treant, which is basically like a sentient tree guardian. As for V and Vondal, I will whisper you what additional things you see.
Lovely.
Okay, so yeah, it continues to talk to you, and it says, it is forest kin and friends. Come closer, my children. Come closer. My sight is not what it once used to be.
Can I just not say anything and just stand in between the tree and, like, not like in between the tree and Kelariis and Arya, but like directly in front of them?
Yeah, you can walk so that you're in front of them. Yeah,
Yeah, like holding an arm out as if to block them.
yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why?
It's like this is a tree spirit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and then I'm gonna whisper to. I'm just gonna sort of whisper to them and say, "Do not go closer to him."
Zale sort of like walks towards the tree and is sort of like, how fascinating! A treant here. This thing must be
Zale, stop.
ancient. He
I also walk towards Zale, grab his hand, and like gently
Okay.
pull him back.
he's sort of like, but Elran, Simone, and Lysatus, Lysatus in particular, actually, seem very, very dubious of this, to the point where I think Lysatus can cast a spell here. No, she can't. She was never prepped. That's actually kind of annoying. Oh well. Yeah, but the tree is sort of like, why do you shy away, my children?
So hang on, that. So like the thing that made, like, do we know the thing that made us save is like a magic thing?
You have no idea. You aren't aware that you're under the effects of anything.
Oh, okay.
Just like something.
I assume I had advantage on that save though, because otherwise I would have failed it.
Yes, yeah, you did have advantage on the save. But yeah, like as far as you're concerned, there's nothing magical in the air. It's just you're seeing this thing like as I've described it to you, and it like something doesn't seem right about it. But to the others, it seems like it just looks like a regular treant.
Okay. Again, I'm just gonna sort of whisper to Ironclaw and say we don't want to engage with him. Just ignore him.
But it's just a treant.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Oh yeah, you're pretty sure you know better than Vondal when you see a
I
treant.
think I know, actually. I've been around the block a few times.
Are you really going to trust something this hospitable in an environment this hostile? Because that'd be a new level of recklessness for you. That's
Wow.
for certain.
It's just an inn. It's fine.
The
I
treant
sense something completely unnatural about this.
the treant chuckles and says, "Ah, the short folk always were suspicious of our kind.
I don't feel
Come.
eyes here.
Come, my friend, we will not hurt you. You too, daughter."
I'm not your daughter.
It's not your kind I'm suspicious of. It's the place you reside in, and what appears to be around you.
The sort of the old man face sort of like crumples itself up, but it's sort of like a like he's scrutinizing you, and he just sort of says, "I see your concern for a locale, but folks such as yourselves do not usually roam these places. Why is it so different to find one of my kind here? My kind flourish wherever there is life. Oh, not much of it around these days."
That's why I'm concerned.
Oh, believe me, you needn't be. Naught will harm you here, save perhaps the curiosity of some of the smaller animals. And he wriggles his roots slightly, and there's a number of star-nosed moles are just sort of disgorged from in his roots, and they just seem surprised and just sort of burrow away. He sort of looks over the rest of the group and is sort of "I see you seek shelter. You can shelter in my brows if you would like."
I think we can find adequate shelter elsewhere.
The old man face looks sort of crestfallen.
Aw.
Oh no.
No,
Maybe we should-
There is no ah and oh no about this situation, right?
Look, he's just an old treant. It's fine.
No, he's not. He might be an old treant, but I think he's an old treant who'd like us dead. So I say we move away and ignore him. In fact, ideally we find somewhere else to camp.
Yeah. You're sort of you're still saying this sort of standing between.
I'm still kind of I'm whispering it again to
Okay.
Arya and Kelariis, specifically Arya.
Okay. I guess I'll make a perception check.
Me as a person is shit. Bad news bears. Arya's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
The treant is just sort of he's well, if you must leave, then by all means, I forgive this old tree. I sought only companionship after such a long rest.
There's no all about this.
I feel bad for this old tree.
Don't.
Come on, guys. Why don't we just? It's just one night. I'm sure.
Because it's death.
Are you sort of like moving towards the tree as you're sort of saying this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I figured you would be.
I gotta grab hold of her arm.
Okay.
Like
I'm already
forearm.
holding on to
Oh
Zale.
boy.
Yeah, I'm grabbing onto Arya's forearm.
Okay, you grab Arya's forearm.
That is a bad move. Whenever I ever
Just a-
whenever I ever misguided you.
Mm.
What a question.
Look, it's are harmless.
He's not harmless. There's clearly something you are not seeing about him, and I tell you this now, to me he looks everything but harmless.
What does he look like to you?
Looks like a-
He is an old treant, but there is...
Before you can finish your sentence, I'd like everybody to roll into the initiative order when I take
Yep.
us to the page.
There we go.
oh boy.
Okay.
Tree and straw.
Hooray!
Hang on. Okay. Let's drag these tokens away for a moment.
Bye.
Whoops.
Because I need to clear the battlefield and reposition everything. Because... okay, so... Oh, I need to bring the other characters in as well, because they are here in this scene. Arya is there with Vondal. Actually, I'm gonna... you're probably closer
see
than
that?
this. Yeah, okay.
What?
Well, yeah, you're you're walking towards the tree.
Yeah, I was pretty
No.
close as well. I think.
Yeah, you're pretty close, and Zale is also pretty close.
I know, but I thought we were further away, starting.
This thing is literally just like a few feet off the path.
Yeah, okay, that was not explained.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I thought he was like the.
That actually that's not right. The path is sort of like here.
I was gonna say, I thought we'd found like a big clearing and we're about to set up camp. He was just, like,
No,
at the edge of it.
no, you're literally like there are no clearings here. Like this is all
Oh right, okay.
this is all thick forest trees. Kelariis, you had never told me you were walking towards it, so I'm going to say you were there. Lyra is probably like back here.
More like curious because I'd never seen one before. So.
Although actually you did fail your check, didn't you? So I guess you are actually sort of No, I'm gonna say you're there. It makes more sense for you to be there. Eleran, Lysatus, Zale, and Simone. Zale is next to
Zale,
V.
you fool.
Eleran and Simone are back here, and Lysatus is off to one side. Okay, so once everybody is rolled into the initiative order, some things happen.
Some bad shit, TM.
Again, I've just like fucked up Zale's token because I keep meaning to like fix it, but and okay.
Boy, do I wish I had some fire around about now.
Okay. Right, sort descending. Okay. So what happens is I need I need Arya, Vondal. Oh wait, no. Is this an attack or is this a save? Oh, it's an attack followed by a save. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Vondal. Okay, so everybody except Arya. Vondal, take 7. 7 bludgeoning damage and make me a dex save. V takes 7, make me a dex save. Wow, and Zale takes 13. Jesus.
He's a real bastard.
Oh, look, the person who's bad at dex has failed a dex save.
Don't
Okay.
know.
How surprising.
Nah.
Okay.
You are.
What?
V has a +2 on that because I think she's
Oh,
in
sweet.
Yes, you do. Unfortunately,
15 is not enough.
15 is not enough. No.
No!
What the fuck?
And Zale also fails. Right. So, basically, 4 noose-like vines descend from this tree and lash out towards all of you. Arya, make me a. What did I make you roll before? Charisma save?
For what?
It was wisdom.
Oh, wisdom save. Make me a wisdom save with your advantage for being. Okay, no.
Wow.
You perceive absolutely zero threat despite the fact that a vine whips past your head.
Another Tuesday.
Fuck's sake.
However, for the rest of you. Vondal, Zale, and V. A noose-like vine wraps around your throat and grapples you. You are now grappled and incapable of casting spells that require verbal components.
Yay.
Actually, like suffocating or not?
Not yet.
Okay. Good.
Kelariis, you see absolutely no threat here whatsoever.
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck?
As does Arya.
Wow.
So,
How does this work?
okay, Arya and Kelariis.
Arya just like is looking forward and not seeing what's happening behind
This
her.
makes no sense.
Zale doesn't understand what's going on. Simone.
Seal, you fool!
Simone is like, well, shit. She's actually going to make a quick nature check.
Well, shit.
She's really bad at nature. Nope, she has no idea what the fuck this thing is. What would her reaction be? I guess her reaction is to draw her longbow and take a shot at one of these vines. Oh, okay, yes. The arrow hits the vine, but the vine is made of some tough material that the arrow just bounces completely off.
Lovely.
What in the fuck?
Vondal, you are grappled, so you are affected by the grappled condition, and you cannot use verbal components. What do you want to do?
I want to try and... Well, I think first things first, let's try and break out of the grapple.
Okay.
Let's try and break the grapple.
You can try and break the grapple, yes.
Okay.
Athletics with disadvantage, I believe, versus...
Looks like I'm not getting out again.
Yeah. Unless we break you out.
It has no athletics, but it's just going to roll strength. Okay. You fail.
Yeah.
It has you grappled.
Fuck's sake.
Have you got any bonus actions?
Not that would be very helpful.
That don't require verbal components?
Yeah, not that would be very helpful.
Oh, now this is interesting.
Because I think all of my spells have a verbal component.
Lyra, can you make me a wisdom save with advantage? Nope, okay.
Good Christ.
GG.
So, basically what happens here is Lyra is just sort of like she's slinking around this tree, like making a low whining noise because something is up, but she's not sure what. Ilaran is going to make a nature check. Come on, my son. No, he also has no fucking clue what this thing is either. He is also going to draw his bow, knock an arrow, and hit and fail.
What?
Lysatus.
Might need magic damage or some shit. I don't know.
Nature check from Lysatus. Hooray! Okay. Lysatus basically cries out, it's a hangman's tree. You need to cut the vines, but they are phenomenally tough. If anyone has fire or acid, now is the time to use it.
Wow.
Boy, I wish I had either of those things.
I believe it's also weak to lightning. Yes, she says it's also weak to lightning. If only your Dragonborn would snap out of it. V.
I mean,
No, I've got a plan. I'm gonna cast fucking Storm Sphere.
Ah, okay.
That's lightning damage.
Oh yeah, she said the tree is weak to lightning, not the vines. The vines are weak to fire and acid. And slashing.
Ah, wait.
I wish I had slashing.
Yeah, I'll do Storm Sphere this turn, and I use a sorcery point because I have to subtle spell it.
Yeah, because you can't use the verbal component. So instead of trying to like this, you feel this noose tighten, and you're just like you hear Lysatus say it, and you're just like shit. Finger gestures done. So presume you just like center it like so that it doesn't hit your allies, but it does hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like somewhere like around here, so I can fire bolts of lightning out of it,
Okay.
which I will do with my bonus action.
Cool. Well, it's going to make a strength saving throw against the wind first. The wind.
Yeah, the wind.
It passes, so it takes no damage. Fucking tree. It's pretty goddamn sturdy.
Yeah.
Stupid trees.
So spell attack bonus is 5, so I have to roll a 1d20. It's 5. Ah, that's not very good.
So this is an attack roll, yeah?
This is an attack roll, yeah. So it's against AC.
Give me just a second. Okay. Okay, so you fire this bolt of lightning off, which impacts with the hangman's tree, but has no effect. It's not enough to pierce its aged bark. The hangman's tree, seeing that it's got 3 people in its grip, is going to attempt to constrict. Everybody who is constricted, make me a strength saving throw.
Am I?
You're not, no.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
I hate you so much, Arya.
It's not my fault.
Stop trying to interact with everything you fucking see in the death dimension.
It's
Like,
not her fault, she was already charmed.
That's not his saving throw, but it's fine.
Charm, she just couldn't see the death.
Okay. Wow, V somehow passes.
Yeah, fuck.
Wow.
I can't believe
Although, actually, when you're grappled, do you have disadvantage on saves? Because I know you have disadvantage on athletics. Conditions grappled.
Just let me have this one moment.
Don't be a bitch.
Oh, it's incapacitated. Oh no, it's not incapacitated. Its speed becomes 0. Oh no, you literally have no. The disadvantage comes from it being a hangman tree, not from the grappled condition. So no, you pass that.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Hooray.
So somehow you managed, like, despite this thing pulling tight around your neck and dealing 12 bludgeoning damage to all of you.
Shit.
To me too?
Yeah.
12. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah. V managed to remain on the ground. The rest of you do not. Vondal and Zale are lifted off the ground and are very gradually asphyxiating.
Oh, shit. I think my Storm Sphere stays up.
Let me just check. Yes, you do.
Like a boss.
Yeah, your concentration remains. The environment suffocation. Okay, you count as being run out of breath. You can survive equal to a number of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier. With a minimum of one round, and at the start of the turn after you fail, you drop to 0 hit points and begin dying. You cannot regain hit points or be stabilized until you can breathe.
So 3.
Okay, that's pretty good actually. Zale's is not good. Zale's is 1. So y'all better do something this round. Oh wait, it's also going to attempt to hang Arya again because it missed. Oh, that's a hit. 13 bludgeoning damage, Arya, and you are now grappled and cannot cast spells with verbal components.
What? No save this time?
Oh no, sorry, yes, no, you do still get a dex save actually.
I was gonna fucking.
Because you take the damage either way, but
What the bullshit is
that is a fail. So you are restrained. Okay.
That's a 3.
Oh yeah.
Hey
What
guys,
do you
we're
do?
rolling bad and we're gonna.
Oh,
die again.
yeah. Actually, first you need to make me a saving throw with advantage. Whiz save.
Fine. So.
You still perceive that there is no threat to you. You are still charmed.
Fuck! Oh, this thing's bullshit. I don't care
Look
what
at your
this
mic
thing
is
is.
dying.
Yeah, your mic is like
Yeah,
really killing us.
Hold
Ouch.
on. Hold on.
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Okay. Kelariis. Kelariis also continues to perceive no threat.
Can't do anything.
Zale gets to save against this and fails miserably. Jesus fucking Christ. Simone.
This is where we die. This is where we die.
Simone rolls intelligence. Okay. Simone realizes that actually she really doesn't have anything good to deal with this. And she is going to 1, 2, 3. Kelariis, make me a wisdom saving throw as Simone attempts to shake you out of this.
No,
Nope.
for fuck's sake!
What?
Oh!
Wow, you
Why
guys
are we
suck.
the worst?
I hate everything.
Noise.
Okay, Vondal, you are again grappled. You still get your action, but you are basically like your movement speed 0. You cannot cast spells.
Because that spell's all I've got is a fucking hammer, and I don't think that's gonna work against the branch. And I make athletics with a disadvantage.
You make athletics with disadvantage, yes.
Okay, we're gonna try this to get out the grapple. Nope.
Nope.
What the fuck?
Lyra, I guess. Actually, no, because you're not in any danger. Oh no, yes, you are now. So Lyra can make a save.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
This is
Eloran.
how we go out, guys.
Okay.
Yep, we're dying to a tree.
You're being asphyxiated by a tree. Iloran is going to do something that you guys didn't know he could do, since Zale gave him a gift. And he is going to cast Mel's Acid Arrow on the vine that is constricting V.
Oh, thanks, man.
There isn't a vine constricting V.
Yes,
Yeah,
there
there
is.
is.
There is.
Is there?
Oh, there it is.
She just didn't get pulled off the ground.
Because I did a great strength save.
Oh, okay.
Acid Arrow. Ranged spell attack. I don't actually know what Iloran's modifier is for that. It's intelligence, so actually it's not awful.
Right.
Okay, it actually misses, but it still deals acid damage. So I need to find out how much damage the things can take. Whoops! I dropped my d4. Oh wow, okay, so Elrond actually rolls max damage on his acid arrow that splashes. And the vine is pretty much worn through, which the Satas is going to attempt to capitalize on. Yeah, I think... Oh wait, no, she's got a fucking brilliant way to deal with this. Lysatus draws her scimitar and runs towards you guys and swings with the scimitar. Actually, no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. I tell a lie. She casts a spell. That's a hit.
Hooray.
Level 2. Cool. She severs the tendril holding V. You are no longer grappled. And I don't think she can do anything else with the bonus action, so I'm just going to leave that for now. Okay. V, you are now free. You're now not restricted in any way.
I mean, oh God. I mean, we'll start with bonus action, I guess.
Okay. Boom.
Come on, dude. For fuck's
Nope.
sake!
Again, the lightning just like arcs off the aged bark.
Christ. Just casually looking through my inventory.
Yeah. Got any slashing, acid, or fire damage?
Acid, no. Fire, no. Slashing, dagger. I have a dagger, and that's kind of it. So
Okay.
just, my spell. Oh, this is a concentration thing, though. Should I risk it, guys? Do I risk it for a biscuit?
I think the last thing we need is more risks, given how
What-
well
what are
we've
you-
done so far.
I mean,
What are you trying to do with concentration?
If I try to cast a spell, which I might have a scroll of, that has concentration, and if I fail it, does my auto concentration thing go?
As soon as you start casting the other spell that requires concentration, it turns off the other one.
But if this works, it would be pretty sick.
I cannot tell you how to play the game, I can only facilitate.
I pull out my scroll of polymorph.
Holy shit.
Okay.
oh my.
Oh, yep, okay, I see how this is gonna work.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I need to check
Maybe
this
it's
spell
safe.
polymorph.
It is 4th level, so it's on a level that I can cast.
1 hit point. I'm just looking to see what the conditions are. It's not a shape changer. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any restriction on what you can actually cast us on. So,
Cool, let's give this a fucking go.
it's a wisdom saving throw, you said?
Yeah,
Okay. Against what?
I think it's just my DC.
Yes, that's what I'd be.
A solid 13.
What animal are you thinking of?
Squirrels.
Okay. Well, singular.
A squirrel.
Okay. So, V whips the scroll from her backpack, begins to read, casts a spell, focuses on the tree. The tree is so engrossed in attempting to asphyxiate you, it doesn't notice as it turns into a squirrel.
Holy shit.
Be you legend!
I cannot believe this.
That instantly cancels all of the grapples. It is now a squirrel. with the intelligence of a squirrel.
Also, if we kill it as a squirrel, doesn't it like just die?
No, it turns back
No,
into a tree.
it's-
Do not kill it as a squirrel. The squirrel just sort of stands there and is like, "What the fuck? Why is everything so massive?"
Oh god.
Arya. Oh wait, hang on.
Yeah, does that
uh,
cancel its like
Like, cancel
charming?
the charm?
It should. It really
'Cause-
should. Because it's a squirrel now. Squirrels can't charm people.
Well, the only thing it prevents you from doing is attacking the hangman tree for any reason. So you can't attack this squirrel. That's literally all you can.
Probably- Well, it's probably. Oh well. Yeah.
What? That's bullshit.
Wait, I tell you what. Make me a save, because in the context of the situation, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense for you not to make a save. Believe it or not, that's still a fail.
What the
Holy
fuck? Why have you put us up against this thing?
Wait,
'Cause
do I
it's
make
fun.
one as
Clearly
well?
the most bullshit thing ever.
But yeah, so Arya, you're sort of like, what the fuck is going on? Why is there a squirrel here?
Oh my god.
I think you can concentrate on this for a minute, I believe, Helena?
An hour actually.
An hour. Okay, cool.
Holy shit.
I'm just gonna I guess I'm just gonna take us out of initiative because
I'm sorry, Rob. I ruined your encounter.
no, it's this is why I give you things.
Can we leave? Let's just leave. I'd like to leave. We're far down the path. Anybody else just want to leave?
I don't know.
Lysatus just extinguishes her flaming sword and says, "Well, that was more of a risk than I would have liked."
I'm still concentrating on this spell.
Yep. You're just like, do not lose concentration, do not lose concentration.
No matter what you do, not lose concentration.
Hey! Zale comes to his senses. Motherfucker.
Alright.
Zale is just like, that was... What on earth was that thing? And Lysatus is just like, let's just go.
And Vondal's gonna say, I second this motion. And I'm gonna drag Arya.
Well,
And Lyra.
Grabbing by the forearm.
Well, Lyra will go wherever Arya goes.
Exactly.
They're not compelled to approach this thing, they just don't think it's hostile.
It certainly isn't now. Let's just move.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I'm dragging Arya by the forearm
no!
away from the now squirrel.
A rather perplexed looking squirrel just runs into the tree
Wow.
nearby and just like sits there watching you as if it expects you to attack it at any second.
We're just leaving.
Okay. You leave.
Great.
Fuck, whatever
Good.
that was, I hate it.
well.
And it can't be used ever again because it's clearly bullshit.
Hangman Street. Hangman Street's amazing, man. It's classic,
Hangman Street.
classic D&D monster.
The Hangman Street
Classic.
is bullshit.
That's not even the highest level version.
Yeah, bullshit.
There's a gallows tree, which is even worse.
That is a bullshit monster and should never be used again.
Do I detect some salt, Cav?
Yes! Yes, you do! You detect high levels of salt. So much salt, in fact, that it's almost as much as whenever we play Overwatch.
Right.
Wow.
So, after learning the dangers of the forest, you decide to find somewhere a little bit safer to set up camp.
Yeah.
That was not my fault.
Don't approach strange trees!
She was charmed.
Looks like us.
Yeah, for those who don't know, explain what it looked like.
Okay. So, first, it was literally just described as having strange-looking vines and being surrounded by bones.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm very salty.
So yeah. Eventually enough time passes that sort of like you guys come out of whatever hallucination that you guys were having about the tree. I guess you could give me a nature check, all of you.
What?
And I guess Lysathas will make one with advantage, considering what she already knows. She doesn't need it.
Thanks, Lysathas.
Okay.
Oh, roll 20, stop having
Why
it.
am I suddenly good at nature?
Vondal, you suspect it may have been some sort of airborne pathogen, which Lysathas confirms with you. She confirms with you that the hangman tree sort of lures its victims in by creating a 50-foot cloud of hallucinatory spores.
Lovely.
And presumably the bones that surrounded it were its previous victims. Judging by the size and decay of coloration, she suspects it may have been a party of humanoids. Possibly the same ones who encountered the bandits previously.
Well, that sucks.
So, I presume you'd like to keep double watch as you take your long rest.
Yeah.
Well, not that you can really double up on your watch because you already have 4 people.
Yeah, four people who are going to be semi-conscious. If we want to be really picky about it, they can take turns meditating, and then we'll
Yeah.
wake up at the same time anyway.
I go like down to like 11 hit points. I was
Yeah.
kind of worried I was gonna die for a sec.
You were very lucky. If you hadn't passed that strength save, you would have been very, 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 very close to hitting 0.
And I would have started to suffocate as well.
Well, yeah, that either would have taken you from the damage or the suffocation. So,
Also, daylight is very much a spell that was cast.
yeah. So you cast Daylight to refresh the duration on Viggy's armor. And you guys have a long rest. And who said in the Wyvern fight that I wasn't going to throw something slightly more dangerous at you today?
I think Luka meant during the Wither fight itself. Wither? Wither.
Wither.
Cool.
Oh,
geez.
Luka.
Headphone users.
I think we'll have a short break while Luka sorts her microphone out and I get a drink.